So in my last video, I was talking about Jill Stein and how she wants some recounts. And I gave you my opinion on what I thought of Jill Stein in those recounts. Of course, the latest dose of horse piss is Jill Stein. More so now with Jill Stein pulling this bullshit. Why? What the fuck does it matter to her? Because she cares about how people voted? Maybe, but I don't think that's what her motivation is. I think her motivation is everyone blamed Donald Trump winning on her, which was bullshit, instead of saying, hey. So yeah, I wasn't too happy with that. I was like, I thought Jill Stein, she's just trying to make amends to the Democrats who all said mean things about her. Cher called her worthless. So now she's like, come on, guys, I'm kind of like you. Let me do you a favor. I'll call for a recount, and maybe Hillary will end up winning Wisconsin, right? Except I don't think I could have been more wrong. I don't think Jill Stein wants Hillary Clinton to win. She's not doing it for that. She is trolling Hillary Clinton and all of her supporters, and probably George Soros, because I've got this friend who thinks that Hillary Clinton and Jill Stein are both puppets of his. Yeah, maybe Hillary, but I do not think Jill Stein is his puppet. I think she trolled him as well. Anyway, so she got the financing she needed to get one of the recounts in Wisconsin. That's going to happen. They're going to recount in Wisconsin. But she's not doing this to help Hillary. I think it can be summed up by this. So Hillary Clinton decided that, yes, she's going to get in on this recount. She's got to make sure her votes count. And this is what Jill Stein said on Twitter. Why would Hillary Clinton, who conceded the election to Donald Trump, want hashtag recount 2016? You can't be on again, off again about democracy. Oh, she trolled her good. Why did I say she trolled her? Well, you have to remember what Hillary said about Donald Trump when he said he thought the system was rigged, and if he didn't win, he was going to fight it. She said, oh, no, you can't do that. When one of the candidates goes up against that puts democracy in a bad place. It would all be terrible. Well, now, because Jill Stein brought about this recount, Hillary had two options. One, she could save face and lose votes in the recount because she wouldn't have anyone overseeing it. And, the Trump people like, God, that vote doesn't count because they put an X in the little bubble instead of filling it all in. Or, that one isn't filled in all the way. Cost her votes. Or she could, save face and be incredibly two-faced and actually join the recount. Well, we know what she did. She joined the recount, so she looks incredibly two-faced. What a schmuck. Oh, like I said, people were like, well, no, George Soros, he's the one who gave Jill Stein all his money. And I think she just bilked him for some money. I mean, most of the money that's going to be spent is not going to be on, is going to be on the recount itself. They have to pay for the government to do the recount. The recount is not going to use taxpayer money to start a counting process all over. Jill Stein's got to pay for it. She's raised the money. And maybe they don't need all of that money to do the recount. So I don't want to throw shade on Jill Stein, saying how she successfully trolled Hillary Clinton and George Soros, and I guess me. I've kind of changed my opinion. I feel like a schmuck for all the mean things I said about Jill Stein. Not necessarily all of them, because I do think she could have probably ruined a few people's Thanksgiving because they had to bring up this recount, and I'm not convinced that all the votes are going to be recounted in this recount. I think hers will, because she'll have representation there. Hillary's will, because she'll have representation there, and Trump will have representation there. And maybe Gary Johnson will have representation there. But I don't think all the protest votes, all the people who put Harambe or these nuts or my vote of none, if I had voted in Wisconsin, will be recounted. Quite the opposite, especially with the Hillary overseers. They're like, but that doesn't matter. They threw their vote away. Don't count that. Don't put that in the records. You know, those assholes are going to try to get rid of those. They're going to try to act like it was just Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, and they'll be forced to admit that Jill Stein was in it too, because she's the one doing the recount. So I'm still not pleased with this recount unless the Green Party is willing to be the fighters of all of those protest votes. To say, hey, it's not just going to be about us counting our votes. We're going to count all the votes of all the people who didn't want either one of those shit sandwiches. And Jill Stein, well, I can't say I'm going to hold you to it because you haven't agreed to it, but I'm asking you, are you going to do that? Because you're playing with those people's votes. With, like I said, Donald Trump's people, they're going to be pretty pissed and paranoid. And Hillary Clinton voters are going to try to sabotage things. And your people are going to be there just with a big shit-eating grin on their face. I don't know what the Gary Johnson people are going to do. They're probably they might not even attend. They'll be out smoking dope. But I think that's on you. Make sure that those votes are counted, because that's what you said. We've got to make sure all the people's votes are counted. Well, remember the people who didn't vote for you but didn't vote for those two as well. Just saying. And like I said, I apologize for some of the things I said about you in my last video. I was quite livid. And I have to congratulate you on just playing Hillary Clinton for a sucker. Yeah, fuck her. And fuck Cher. Fuck you, Cher.